quiet out there this afternoon. We see some light snow showers up along the North Carolina-Tennessee border during the day today, but so far things are looking pretty good on the radar. And from here on out, we're not expecting any more precipitation. In fact, that cloud cover that's been pretty persistent on the North Carolina side of things is going to clear out pretty nicely overnight tonight. So clear skies, calmer winds. That means we've got good radiational cooling, which means we're going to drop down into the 20s tonight area wide. Notice we get down close to the teens across some of the higher elevations of North Carolina and even into the upstate. You're looking at those mid to upper 20s. So it is going to be a cold and clear start to the day tomorrow. But we rebound as we head into the afternoon. Tuesday, we're looking at afternoon highs in the 50s. So even the folks that got stuck in the 30s this afternoon, you're going to get into the 50s as well. We're looking at mid 50s across the upstate with 53 in Greenville, 55 in Union, as well as Anderson and Toccoa, even 57 in Elberton, Georgia, with 54 in Bryson City and Asheville making it to 50 tomorrow afternoon with abundant sunshine across the area. So a beautiful day on our Tuesday ahead of our next storm system that's going to arrive as we head into the day on Wednesday. So we're jumping ahead now to midnight on Wednesday, headed into Wednesday, and that rain starts to pick up in those early overnight hours. So as we head into about through 2-3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, we start to see this first round of rain come through. Now, I will caution you, this is just one model, and it's a little on the quicker side than some of the other models, but it gives you a general idea as we get a little bit closer as to the timing of this. So by 6 o'clock through that morning commute time, you can see things are very messy out there. It is going to be some heavy rain through the morning commute, continues through about 9 o'clock, and like I said, this particular model is a little quicker, starting to clear us out by the time we get to about lunchtime. There's another model, the NAM, that's actually keeping those rain chances around until about 3-4 o'clock into the afternoon, and then it dries out as we head into the evening hours. But this is going to be more focused on the day on Wednesday and then clears out by Wednesday night. Now, in terms of our rainfall totals, we're looking at that potential there for anywhere from 1/2 inch to around 2 inches of rain, which could lead to some issues with flooding, especially in areas that get stuck under these heavy downpours. Plus, we're monitoring a low-end risk for severe weather across the lower parts of the upstate. On the south side of I-85, we've got that potential there, especially Wednesday afternoon, with the potential for some stronger to severe thunderstorms and that potential for some damaging straight-line winds. As we get closer to Wednesday with this first alert day, you're going to want to make sure you have the First Alert weather app downloaded onto your phone. Scan the QR code right there on your screen or head to the App Store to get the Fox Carolina First Alert weather app. And as we get closer, we'll continue to keep you updated on those potential threats, especially as we head into Wednesday morning. And Chris?